Hello, welcome. I'm Sue from createwithsue.com, and today we're going to look at the first cut from the SDX1000 ScanNCut, and we're going to make the little box that comes with the machine. So it includes a piece of cardstock and the instructions on how to put the box together, and we will cut it out. Join me over at the machine. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we're at the machine and I've got the mat out and the cardstock out. It looks like solid core cardstock, maybe about 180 GSM. And this is the first project for the SDX1000. So what we do is take the cover off the mat, and it will be very noisy. This is what I was going to say though, it will be very sticky. I'll just try and make it not so noisy for the camera, and we'll just pop that over there. But it will be very sticky, and there's potential for this card to stick too much to this. So this is a standard tack mat. The low tack is less risk, but for this one, I'm going to give it a whirl, but I could get unstuck here with it sticking too much. I'm not going to press it down too much. You know how you see in the videos to press it down really hard? I am not doing that for this one. I'm going to lightly touch it down and hope we can still get it off. As long as it's not lifting. I'm inclined to use a lot of painter's tape just to hold things in place if they're not quite stuck. Just going to stick that gentle. I'll stick it a bit more if I think it's going to come up. Now before I do this, I'll just pop it up here for a minute. In here are your tools. So in this little slot here you'll find the tools. They're in a little pouch. And what you will find, just pop the pouch over there, is the stylus. You can use your finger. I sometimes use my finger, but the stylus. And a little scraping tool. I use it a fair bit. I mostly use, would you believe I mostly use this one to, if the card cuts and it's got like a little edge on it, I use this one. I like this one for smoothing the edge down, but I do use it for other things as well. And then the black top blade. This is the auto blade. And so on the end here, it's got a little cap. So we just take that cap off and pop it somewhere safe, probably just there. And I'll just move that out the way a little bit further. Haven't got much room. So this is the black top blade that comes with the SDX1000. You can check that the blade is in there by just pushing that down a little bit, and you can see it popping out the end. To clean this, sometimes gets a little bit of fluff or bits of card or vinyl is very, very common. But just give it a bit of a clean, and you just unscrew it like this. So you just twist that off. Just take it off easily because just in case all the springs and everything pop out, so at least it's in the same spot. And there's your blade, and the spring that's got to be in there to help it be an auto blade. For checking tips, if you need to check whether the tip is okay, you can zoom with your phone and just check it. I can feel that that's good. They do get blunt. It's a consumable, so at some point maybe you may need to change it. A lot of cardstock will blunt it. This blade is okay for fabric, cardstock, vinyl. You can do pretty well everything with this blade. They do have a dedicated fabric blade if you need one. The Brother 2200D comes with one. It's not a necessary purchase, it's up to you. This blade will cut everything you need to. As I said before, this model comes with everything you really need to get going. And that just pops in there like that. Give it a bit of a tap down, not just a gentle one, and that just pushes closed like that. When it starts, I'll just show you the movement when it starts. So you just press, the carriage will move to the initial position. Keep your hands away from the carriage. Press OK on the screen, and it's just a very tiny movement. Big drama. All right, I'll pop this mat down here, and this instruction booklet comes with it, and on here there is the guide, and I might need my glasses for this. Should have the guide on how to, yes, where the pattern is. So it does give you some instructions to put the cardstock on the mat. So it's saying basically load the mat, says press the feed button first. So we'll do that first. Press that down a little bit more. I don't think it's going to stick ridiculously, but if it does, if you have a disaster and it does stick ridiculously to your mat, don't stress, because you can just rinse it in the tap in the sink or the bath. I sometimes put mine in the bath, and it is fine. It'll just rinse off and your mat will be good as new. So don't stress about that. These are your buttons on the side. So that's your on, come back to home. This is your load your mat button. And this one will pause if you have a problem. So just say something's not cutting how you expect. You can pause with this button and fix it. Fix it if you just need to push the cardstock back down on the mat, or something. You can either cancel or pause from that spot. To get our pattern, we're going to go into this section here. So it could be in whatever you're looking for, could be in any of these. This is mainly just shapes. This is predominantly borders. This one here is various patterns. And this one here is created sentiments, I suppose you would call it. And this is lettering. And then this one here is a frame. So we're looking for a box pattern. So I would think it's going to be in this spot here. And we'll scroll down, and there it is. So that's our box pattern we have in our instruction manual to create. So you don't have to create that box panel if you don't want to. You can create whatever you like. It's a good little starter project though. So we have two choices here, and it looks a bit like they both have the crown on them. And the difference for this one, I'll just select this blue one. The difference for this one is that it looks like it's got a little drawing. See the blue? I don't know if you can see it in the video. I'll see if I can zoom in when I edit. The blue indicates it's a draw line. So you could put a drawing tool in and draw that if you wanted to. I'm not going to this at the moment. You can make some minor adjustments. Because this is an inbuilt pattern, you cannot usually change the height and width dimension. This icon here will tell you, you can normally this grayed out in this one. It's just because of this design. So you cannot change the height versus width. So I'll just change some of this. So if I wanted to go smaller, see both the width and the height are reducing at the same rate. For the patterns that you put in yourself and some of the patterns on the inbuilt patterns, this becomes not grayed out, and when you press it, then it allows you to press just the height or just the width to change. So for example, if you were doing a square and you wanted an oblong, you would make that adjustment. You can also change the number of items here, because this is going to take up all of the 12 by 12 card. We're only going to get one on. So we will just go back to 240, which is the full size. I don't think, I guess it could cut it marginally bigger. It may error though if you cut it too much bigger, because there's not a lot of room on the card, but you could give it a try if you wanted to. I'm just going to go back to the default. Normally the default is a great size on the inbuilt designs. And we'll go set. And if you wanted to do anything, and there is a bit of room, so you probably could move it and create it a little bit larger if you wanted to. This feature here will scan the mat if you've got something a bit smaller and you need to place it correctly. I've got videos on scanning the mat and other features in your ScanNCut. You can add more designs if you've got room on your mat, and you can edit in this one, but we're not going to do any of those. We're just going to sail through and cut this. We're going to go OK and please select. So we have a choice of cut or draw. Cut will cut that design out. If we were going to do that design on the cardstock, we would choose the draw, and I'll just choose the draw and show you that it only shows up the draw pattern. If there's nothing showing, that usually means there's not a draw file on your design, and you need to go back to potentially Canvas Workspace and turn your cut file into a draw file. In the tools, you've got some settings. We're going to choose cut for this because we're obviously cutting it. And we've also got the tools to change the settings if we would like. I'm not going to change any settings. We've got the half cut off, which is what we need for this. And I'm going to go with default, but I am going to use the test cut. So I'm going to pop a test cut in there. And it has popped it right down in that little corner. And I'm going to go with that. Really good. Now we'll score the mat a little bit. You can see, we can't see, there's a little tiny score mark. It will score your mat. Don't be too stressed. If it's cutting too deeply, you can adjust the pressure. But overall, it's not anything too much to worry about. And that's not as sticky as I thought it was going to be, so that's interesting. And we're going to go start. And it's telling me 3 minutes. And I'll go OK. And just see what you can see. Oh yes, that's right. So we'll just peel the excess cardstock off. And trusty little spatula. So if you slightly bend the mat a little bit, it's easier to lift. I'll just lift that under there. And I'm just going to peel it. Same with this. Mostly I do it with my fingers. So it's up to you what you find easier. And this is going to lift off really well, and it has cut beautifully. Look at that. There we go. Not sure how much I was on the camera in the end for that. There's our little crown box. So these bits here, you may see there's a slight scoring. That's okay, it's to be expected. As I said, I've got a video on how to adjust that. Comes out, it's very quiet, isn't it? It's unloading the mat. And okay to delete the patterns. As you can see, I'm using my finger again. There's the stylus. And I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.